mentioned cost before, but how do you see the price point of electric vehicles becoming competitive with petrol and diesel cars with internal combustion engines?
So electric vehicles today are still more expensive generally than a comparable petrol diesel vehicle, but their cost has dramatically decreased in the past years, and it's going to continue to decrease in the future as well. And the main reason why electric vehicles are expensive is their battery, or their new powertrain, their battery in the electric motor. And when we talk about cost, we need to consider the whole cost of the entire usage period of that vehicle, not only the sales cost or sales price, but also the operating cost and the maintenance cost of electric vehicles compared to your internal combustion engine vehicle. And in that respect, in terms of running costs or operating costs, the electric vehicles are much better. They're much lower, have much lower running costs. They have much less moving parts in the car and the electric motor compared to a petrol diesel engine. And over the whole whole life of the vehicle, the total cost can be already today can be less than compared to a petrol diesel vehicle, depending on your use case, depending on how often you drive the car, where you drive the car, or how you use it in general.
So what is ARRB doing in relation to EVs?
So we are doing different things in relation to electric vehicles. We have different teams with different areas of expertise in our company. For example, we have looked at the policy policy and aspect of electric vehicles. For example, we have recently completed a project on what road operators can do to support, encourage people to use electric vehicles, support the uptake of electric vehicles, what can be done in this area. When we have a very new team that has grown rapidly in the last few months, that is working on the life cycle or on the sustainability aspect of transport systems, including electric vehicles, of course. So we can look at the overall life cycle emissions of the transportation system. We can look at the overall life cycle cost of the transportation system. For example, at the moment we are developing a tool that allows us to assess the life cycle emissions of a piece of pavement, which includes the use phase of that piece of pavement, which means that the traffic or the vehicles that run over that pavement throughout its lifetime, which means we can also look at what impact a certain number of electric vehicles would have on the whole of life emissions of that piece of infrastructure. We also can look at other aspects, for example, not only passenger vehicles, but also heavy vehicles, freight vehicles. We have a project where we are looking at what can be done in the heavy vehicle sector to reduce emissions, for example, driver training or introducing of introduction of electric vehicles, hydrogen electric vehicles, for example. So there's some different aspects we're looking at, and we have different teams with different areas of expertise that cover a wide area around electric vehicles, what the different aspects that we need to look at.
Finally, Robert, let me put you on the spot. Are you driving an electric vehicle?
I'm not driving an electric vehicle just yet, but I can tell you that I would if Australia had the proper incentives to encourage people to use electric vehicles and to lower the price point, the overall life cycle cost of electric vehicles.
Well, let's hope those incentives come soon and the uptake starts to rise in Australia. Robert, thank you for your time.
No problems at all. Thank you.